Yes, people, welcome. Welcome back to BBK Sports. Question for you. Big, massive question for you. What's more likely to happen this weekend? Amarim getting back-to-back wins or Liverpool losing 4 on the bounce? What do we think that's more like? What are the odds? I think the answer is obvious, right? If you play the projections and you go in a rational train of thought, you're inclined to believe that Liverpool Football Club losing 4 games on the bounce is more unlikely than Man United getting back-to-back wins at Anfield, of all places. Now, if they didn't play, if they were playing different opposition, it could be a thing, but they play each other. It's the massive fixture of the weekend. I'm leading with that because it's the biggest fixture in English football. We have to pay it respects. But there are some other massive fixtures. As you see in the thumbnail, I'm asking the questions. I am made of questions today as to why are people riding off Chelsea and Man City out of the title race. You're in it till you're not. One of the things that we're also going to discuss, big up the Slim Handle, so the elite top 4. Yeah. So one of the statements that I made going into the season was the traditional top 6 is going to reset itself this year. The order of where the teams fall remains to be seen. But I was of the opinion that the traditional top 4 was going to reset. The traditional top 6, really. Right? But it seems like with the start that Man United had, kind of messed it up for us a little bit. Or messed it up for my pick sheet. But we're getting back to it. Yeah. Big up Rob just squeezing in some Phyllis Hammond before the stream, arguably one of the best female vocalists of all time. Yeah, that's big up to you, man. Big up to you for that. There's some Sade on my playlist as one of the best female vocalists of all time. There's also a chick called Shantae Moore, never had any massive hits. Had some massive hits in the 90s, but her vocals was off the charts. Obviously Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston have some great vocals as well. But yeah, Phyllis Hyman, Barbara Streisand's a massive vocalist. And speaking of vocalists and speaking of music, we haven't seen him in a while, people. We haven't seen him, but we missed him. But welcome him back. Welcome him back. The boss himself. Man like
Maybach music.
Rosé born stunner. I can blow money. Sipping when I'm shopping. That ain't no money. I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover. Whipping work. I'm so sophisticated. To get a verse from me, you gotta be initiated. I'm burning purple flowers, it's burning my chest. I bury the most cash and burning the rest.
Maybach music.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't care if he takes a 2-month hiatus, 2-week hiatus, or 3-week hiatus. Wherever he goes, whatever he pops back in, we acknowledge the boss of the chat room. Yeah. The king of the comment section, man like E. Ross, big him up every single time. Yeah, man. R.I.P. to D'Angelo. 51, like, what is, man, are just dropping like flies out here, man. What's killing us? Is it the food? Is it our diet that's killing us? What the hell is going on in the world? But big up to man like E. Ross. Appreciate you checking back in, just like Bluebird. And E. Ross says, hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Big up to Hendo. Say good afternoon, BBK Sports and all watching. Yippee! YouTube notification actually worked today. Hallelujah! Oh, did it? It's been mad. The views have been off the. Just been. I don't know. We had that discussion yesterday with LFC Monster and a couple others. Said it's going all across the YouTube spaces. Views are down. They're up. They're down. It's all over the place. But it's all good. If you love talking football, whether you get 1,000 views or 10,000 views, the energy should be the same. I remember, right, because I'm a reggae music dancehall fanatic, right? There's this The Waffle Don knows him. If you listen to reggae music and dancehall, and especially in the 90s, you know him. The Fireman, King Shango, Kieputan. Like, if you ever seen this dude perform, I actually had seen that dude perform one time. I've seen him perform in front of 30,000 people. I've seen him perform in front of 3,000 people. And I've seen him perform in a room where there was barely anyone there at Club Famous in Portmore under Gaza. And I think there was like 17 people in there. He gives the same energy, regardless of how many people are present in the audience. Yeah, and I took a lesson from that. Whenever I'm on here, I used to be on here talking to, just a panel with no viewers. So whenever the energy is, hey, if there's 10 people in here, if there's 50 people in here, the energy has to be consistent when you deliver your content. Yeah, it's a bit chilly here too, man. I had to warm the car up this morning for the wife to take the kids to school. Waffle Down say I know all of the singers. Yeah. I think Shantae Moore's voice she had a massive voice, but she never really quite got on the level of Mariah and Whitney, but her voice was beautiful. She could carry a note for ages. Her vocal range was amazing. Just like in the 90s, there was an R&B singer named Rada. Shantae's got a man, Yeah, there was Jesse Powell never got on the level of R. Kelly and Brian McKnight and Joe and them, man. But Jesse Powell's vocal range was off the charts, But that's the good thing back in the day. If good music will find you, now you got to go look for the shit. Big up to Jam Boy. We had a bit of a break from the socials during the international break. Be back next week. Big up Jam Boy, man. Glad to have you back, bro. Hope you are good. Big up to E-Ross. You already know, bro. You are a legend around these spaces. Yeah, Organ Goo, man. Dal, yeah. The Fireman. More fire. Yeah. When that dude performing, I think Kieputan is like almost 60. He's almost 60 right now, but whenever he gets on that stage, the energy that he delivers, yeah. John Holt, Michael Bolton, just immense vocal range, because back then you had to have the voice to carry the song. Now, if you have good production and the beat is sick and this and that, you don't really, singers these days, the musicians these days don't really have great vocal range, or they don't use it, or they don't showcase it. Back in the day, you had to showcase it. Like, I heard Shantae screaming on a track one time. I thought the record was scratched. Like when the CD was scratched and you think it would skip. No, it was her singing. It was mad. Big up to Hendo. Big up to Gunner for Life 82. Hope you are good, bro. My mod in the building. A to the J. You need a stream on that. Yeah, we should probably, what? I'll probably jump on one of your watch-alongs. Because, watch-alongs, you can go off track and talk about anything. During the halftime or one of these dead games. Or if Arsenal are comfortably leading, that's when I can do watch-alongs. I can't. When the game is on, I was in the chat yesterday when Waffle Down and KP was talking. When the game is on, the phone is turned upside down and I'm locked in. You have some man that be tweeting the entire game. Like, bro, how do you watch the fucking game? Every play, tweet, text, every group chat. I'm like, bro, put the damn phone down and watch the game. There's no way you can tweet the entire game and then go on the panel and talk analytics and tactics. So you weren't watching the game, bro. You were just tweeting the whole time. Silk, listen, hey, Silk, milk condition. Hey, slew them. Happy your feelings, them I carry. Them done go already, and them can't say them sorry. Hey, listen. The acapella version, yeah, her vocal range. Hey, look at this, Frankie Beverly Leon. And this legendary chat. How could I forget Frankie? How could I? Yeah, it's a massive big up to Jagans in the building. Yeah, man. You barely just missed the montage for E. Ross that came back into the space. But big up to you. I'll put a timestamp in for the watchback. Big up to LFC Monster. LFC Monster, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you this weekend? And I know yesterday you said you were chill, but I can't quantify how chill you are. On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you that you could lose 4 in a row and give Amarim his back-to-back win? That's the question for LFC Monster. He says 0. Okay, that's pretty chill. That's pretty chill. How cold is cold? Ice cold. Remember the Andre 3000? Mad. Big up to the community. I was Don Robinson, 58 years old. Right out. It's aging gracefully. Manazan, respect to E. Ross. He said, big up the Waffle Don. 0. Not worried. He is not worried at all. I'm going to be real. The title race is wide open. Arsenal needs to concentrate on themselves. Now, big up to Cooper. Love, bro. And all the cool kids. I swear this chat is legendary. Yeah, man. Big up. Look at all the dappings. Look at this shit, man. This is just love all around. Now, people, the power of one win. You see the power that 3 points can have on a team, on a league, on a cluster of teams, because we can. Okay, look, the power of 3 points, the power of a win. No matter what the team is that you beat, it could be Sunderland. The power of 3 points against Sunderland enabled Sir Jim to come out and say, "We're giving Amorim 3 more years." You will never see that if they had lost that game. The power of 3 wins gives Chelsea title talk. I have to put there in the thumbnail. And you would think that Chelsea are up there in the cluster, but they're 7th. They're behind Palace. But because of that one win, the power of those 3 points, Chelsea was able to talk with chess going into the international break based on who they beat. The power of 3 points. It's amazing. It's so important. Another reason why I was so damn upset that we didn't get our 3 points at Anfield. And people ask me all the time, BBK, are you still mad at the 3 points that you dropped at Anfield? And I'm like, to this day.
To this day. To this day. To this day.
You goddamn right, I'm still mad over it. The power of 3 points. If Chelsea didn't get those 3 points versus Liverpool going into the international break, they couldn't chat to no one. But they were all out. CFC Reaper was all up in the chat the day after the win. I haven't seen him in months. But after they beat Liverpool, he was right here. Giving it. Right? So, Liverpool cannot lose 4 games in a row. It can't happen. If that happens, all of a sudden, Arne Slot is going to realize what pressure really is. Because let's be fair, let's be honest, let's keep the conversation 100. He kind of had a free hit last year. A free run at the title. Because no one was expecting him to do what he did. A 3rd place finish with or without a Carabao, they would have been calm. Because that's what they did the year before on the clock. Right? A Carabao and a top 4 finish. But this year, there is pressure. Not only because you won the league, but there's also pressure because you broke the transfer record twice in one window. Record signings. Top on top of signings. There's pressure there. So the power of 3 points. Do we see a world where Arsenal can go to Craven Cottage and drop points? Yeah, we can see a world. We just have to look back to the last fixture. It happened. It completely happened. Big up to Rob Prudence. Big up to Wahaha checking in. Jesus. Did I lose track? Did I lose track of the comments? Big up to the Maybach music. Yes, sir. Yeah, big up to Cooper. Hope you're recovering well. Juggons. The name cracks me up. I would love to give the name to Reggae Boys coach Steve McClaren. Listen, 4-0. We got 1 foot in the door. We have to make this happen. Oh man, I'm having surgery tomorrow to remove the hardware. Hopefully, man, that's massive. Man, all the best to you, Coop. Like the chat is wishing you well. Yeah, make sure you check back in and let us know how that's going. You know, you could even do a vlog. and let us know that everything is good with that ankle. I'm having a little bit of setbacks with the knee as well. Just when I think I'm about to have a breakthrough, I start to feel some soreness, and I'm very nervous. You know, I can't just push through. I have to be like, let's keep it calm now. Okay. But yeah, big up to Cooper. Sincere well wishes to you, my guy. Confidence. It was like Bermuda has like 4,000 people. I see that damn goalkeeper. Yeah, he didn't know if he was coming or going. CFAS was having all kind of change out of that damn left winger that they had back there. Yeah, they were poor because Bermuda had us looking like prime Barcelona. Now it was 4-0, bro. We put 4 past them at Independence Park at the office. Easy 4-0. Could have been 6. Could have easily been 6. Yeah, mad one. Now it's Man United, right? So I don't know how you man felt, but actually you've heard me say I haven't predicted a loss for Arsenal all season. And where did we start our season? Away at Old Trafford. I was confident that Arsenal was going to go there and win. Right. So how can I sit here now and turn a 180 and be like, I think they can go to Anfield and get something? You know? How the hell was I thinking we can go to Old Trafford and beat these men and expect these men to go to Anfield and win? Because they can. That's how football works. You know, Team A can beat Team B, but Team B beat Team C, and Team C always smack up Team A. This is just how it works. You know, football is weird like that. Absolutely weird like that when we've seen teams can beat another team, have a bogey team in their pocket. Like Tottenham can't beat us. Tottenham ain't beating us in forever, but they beat City all the time. Right? Chelsea hasn't beaten us since 2021. But they just beat Liverpool. They beat City. They beat PSG in a World Cup final. It's just weird like that, isn't it? But if I'm expecting Arsenal to pull away this weekend, I look at Fulham. I look at Joshua King. I'm hearing people saying that it's personal between Iwobi and Leno. Oh, and I'm like, come on, man. How long has Leno been at Fulham? That man has let that go by now, right? There is no, I'm going to show you why you let me go. I'm pretty sure Leno is quite happy at Fulham. I think he's even gotten a German call-up since he's been out there. But I like the fact that Arsenal actually played first and put more pressure on Liverpool to deliver on Sunday. Now, the last time that we saw United in, I was about to say good form, but I can't bring myself to say good form because it's still no back-to-back wins, right? It's still win, draw, loss, win, draw, loss, win, draw, whatever. But they're coming off the back of a win. Everyone's happy going into the international break. This is what I wanted. But remember, and Liverpool are on a downward slide, 3 on the skid, right? So the last time we saw this, when United were coming off a win, Liverpool are in a skid, was March of 2023. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was actually March 5th. It was my anniversary. I was in Zurich with the wife, so I couldn't even watch the game. So I had to sneak and check the scores, right? And you look at the result in the end and you see 7-0 on the scoreboard and you're like, oh my God, Liverpool must have blamed these men from minute number 1 to minute number 90. That's kind of not how it went. It was a 1-0 game at halftime. It was a Cody Gakpo goal that separated. I think Cody Gakpo scored in like the 35th minute or something like that. It was 1-0 at halftime. And the United defense was supposedly good back then. It was Varane, it was Dalot, it was the Butcher, and world-class Luke Shaw. 1-0 at halftime. And then the capitulation, the 6-0 second half, that turned out to be the 7-up FC game, right? So for 45 minutes, the game was actually competitive. And last year's competition was actually competitive. And that 7-0 was the last time Liverpool actually beat United at Anfield. I think the following season, it was like a 0-0 draw or something like that. So what my thoughts around this game will change tomorrow when I discuss it with the Waffle Down on the warm-up show. But I do believe one or two things are going to happen. Either it's going to be a big win for Liverpool, or it's going to be a draw. I don't think it's going to be a cagey 2-1 win for Liverpool still. Either Liverpool going to just put their foot on these men's necks, or United are actually going to shock the world and get something out of this game. And if I were to ask Wahaha or any United fan, would you take a draw right now and walk away? I'm basically asking, if you see 2-2 on the scoreboard come Sunday, would you be happy with that point? I'm inclined to believe that most of them would say yeah. I almost said it. I have to catch myself there. United on form. The power of 3 points. The power of a win. The lift that it can give you just for seeing 3 points on the board after you struggle and you struggle and you struggle. Now, we have to acknowledge that Man United are probably going to score. Right? We're going to acknowledge that, right? Because the Liverpool defense needs to be discussed. Yeah, big up to Cooper, man. We are wishing him well. Varano's crap ever since Ramos stopped babysitting him. I mean, we knew that. We knew that. We tried to tell a couple of United fans that, but they weren't trying to hear it. You wouldn't take it. You wouldn't take a point. You want, okay. Wahaha got high standards, Wahaha got some high standards. Chef boy said, I'd take a draw. Draws are for Arteta and the like. Okay. All right. The real days. All right. So Liverpool will concede, right? Actually, want Liverpool. I need Liverpool to concede, so it will further hammer away at the point. And people tried to cover up that, Arteta was cowardly when we went there. Because people are still actively trying to deny that those tactics were wrong, As we go on, they're saying, oh, my God, Moreno is playing for Spain and he's scoring this and that, so maybe it wasn't a defensive lineup. Stop it. The fact that he went and scored 2 goals for Spain again, every time he does something for Spain, the Arteta folks try to tie it back to either Arteta is a genius for unlocking him, or when he played the 3 fridges in midfield, it wasn't a defensive formation. It was an attacking formation because Moreno is an attacking player. He is not. Mikel Moreno is a central midfielder and an emergency backup striker that Arteta had to throw up front when we had no one on the bench. That Leicester City game experiment, we were down to our bare bones. There was one attacker on the bench, and it was Butler Adeji. That starting front 3 was Ethan Nwaneri, Trossard, and Sterling that day. The only player who wasn't a damn center back or a goalkeeper was Moreno. That's all he had to throw up there. So these men are literally out here trying to rewrite history as it was some kind of stroke of genius that Moreno ended up front. So I don't want to hear it, right? But I do need Liverpool to concede because the point will remain. It was Burnley and Arsenal, the only 2 teams that have not scored against Liverpool. The only 2 teams who deliberately said, we're not going to attack. We are setting up to defend. Liverpool defense don't need to be discussed. They need to be cussed. Oh, my days. Having surgery at 9 a.m. So, yeah, you can't. I think from midnight tonight, you can't eat anything and only drink water. When I had my surgery, I go in, the pre-op people come out to ask everyone. They usually ask people this to catch them out, to get them to be honest, just a casual conversation. Hey, how you doing this morning? What'd you add for breakfast? The lady next to me said, oatmeal. they had to cancel her surgery because you're not supposed to eat anything the night before you go under anesthesia. So, yeah, big up to Cooper. Praying for you, bro. Hope you are good. 3 fridges and a massive point, says Rob. Yeah, they're trying to convince themselves that it was a good tactic. I'm like, brother, we lost the game. We lost the damn game. You know, the only game that we won with that was the Bilbao. And that wasn't even it that really unlocked the game. It was the super sub impact of Trossard and Martinelli, which is the only capacity that them two should be playing in this team, to be honest. Merino is 100% starting on Saturday. You mean in the midfield? He can't be starting ahead of Gyökeres. I mean, he can because, you know, then Arteta will be sending subliminal signals to Berta all season long. Like, I didn't want this guy. So not only am I gonna sabotage his play, I'm gonna sabotage his minutes. If he starts him in the midfield, then either Zubimendi or Declan Rice has to sit because we need Eze on the pitch. And I don't want to see Merino up front over Gyökeres. Why are the Arsenal faithful doing this? And if he does that, there will be people who defend it and back it, you know, if he actually does this stupid shit. There would. But at no point, like, Frank Lampard is probably the all-time box crasher, right? Probably the all-time leading scorer from midfield, right? That's what they usually use to edge him over Scholes and Gerrard whenever that debate comes up. Speaking of which, Waffle Down did a show on that. Scholes, Lampard, or Gerrard over the international break. Great watch. I suggest you go check that out. But at no point, as many goals as Lampard scored, at no point did anyone say, hey, let's put him up front when Drogba was out of form or injured or suspended for slapping people. No one ever did that. You know, we just need to chill with the Mikel Moreno prop for real. Good chance we will concede at the moment, but we can go score 3-4 goals is the question. I can see United. Can United keep a clean sheet against us? Hopefully. I fully doubt it. Yeah, hell no, they're not keeping a clean sheet. I've seen Burnley put 2 past these men at Old Trafford. But, you know, if I look at the table and I look across the league, you know, I see Tottenham, Bournemouth, City, Crystal Palace, Everton, Sunderland, Newcastle, Villa. All those teams have conceded less goals than Liverpool. Those teams. No cap. Villa were in 13th. Newcastle were in 11th. Sunderland were in 9th. Have all conceded less goals than Liverpool. One of the reasons why people say Man City aren't going to win the league is because their defense can be got at. They've only conceded 6 goals. Tottenham. Is Tottenham's defense great? Bournemouth? None of these are great defenses. Bournemouth lost 2 of their best defenders or 2 of their better defenders. Right? They lost Kirkes to you, man, and they lost Huijsen to Madrid. And their defense looks better. I'm reading reports that Gravenberch is injured. I don't know if that's true or if that was just a knock, but if he doesn't line up, then that changes the dynamic. Cooper says Rice in the 6, Zaha 10, Zubi in the 8. You mean Eze in the 10? No, Moreno not starting before Eze. Yeah, he can't do that. Not against Fulham. We didn't lose because of the Stone Age midfield. We lost because of Sir Bozo. Nope, I'm not hearing that. Nope. I'm not hearing that. So Bozo could have scored that goal and we still won the game 2-1 or 3-1. That's the difference between championship teams and teams that are playing for a draw. Like Szoboszlai can have his magic, his moment of magic. Okay, you had your moment of magic, but that was it. You lost the game. You remember the Odell Beckham catch? Any of you men know who Odell Beckham is? The one-handed catch that made him into a superstar for the New York Giants, for my New York Giants. playing against the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was 2014 or 15, maybe even 2016. One-hand catch, one of the most ridiculous catches you ever see. We lost the game. But it still made him, that moment still made him into something. That moment, Szoboszlai could have his moment all he wants to. But that should have made the game 2-1 us or 3-1 us if we set up to attack Liverpool. All those teams that I just named off have scored against these men. Southampton scored there. Bournemouth scored there. Man United are going to score there. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing this. We didn't lose that game because of Szoboszlai. We lost that game because of Arteta. Marino will start somewhere. Somewhere to shoehorn him in there. Shoehorn him in there somehow. They play him center back. Fuck it. I'm saying Marino will start. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. Yeah. Hope you are too, man. Cass has been talking about United should go and set in defensively and attack us on the break. But as you say, teams who haven't attacked us haven't won. So I hear Cass's point. What I'm thinking is playing in Cass's head, right, is, okay, sit back, absorb the pressure for the turnover and possession, right? Because Mbeumo is most effective, just like he was at Brentford, in open space, running at the fullback. And you can see it. You can see a turnover or a cross, a set piece, and somehow the ball, the keeper claims it, plays it out quickly. Bruno hoofs it over to the top to Mbeumo, and he is full speed running at Kerkez. I fancy Mbeumo in that matchup. Or on the other side, where you have Cunha, who we all rate as a footballer, against Kerkez or Connor Bradley. That the Liverpool fullbacks, along with Konate, big question marks against them right now. Big question marks. And if I see Kwanzaa or Connor Bradley, who Garnacho got subbed out at halftime up against Cunha, I think Cunha can take advantage of that. And speaking of Kwanzaa or Connor Bradley or Kerkez, who do you start at fullbacks for this game, LFC Monster? You think he's going to put Robinson back in and sit Kerkez for this one? Because Mbeumo could cook him. Is he going to put Szoboszlai at right back to cover for Frimpong? Or is he going to play Kwanzaa there? Because if he plays Szoboszlai at right back, you weaken your midfield. You put Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, if he's fit in that midfield, advantage Liverpool. Because Casemiro and Ugarte just ain't it. You know. Sheldon, you say that, but the attack didn't. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying this 100%. I'm not taking anything away from Szoboszlai's free kick. It was wonderful, but that shouldn't have been the game winner. One-hand catch, but we lost the game. But the catch was so good, people forget that we lost the game. That free kick was so good, it should make people forget that Liverpool lost that game. We should have went and attacked them, and I think we would have got something. Big up to Static. Love for the love, my bro. Yeah, man. Big up. Yeah, Zaha is in the news as of late. Beefing with Mateta and that one-handed catch with the magnetic laugh. Nah, bro. It may have been some stickum on there, but one-hand catches have become a thing now in the NFL, and he gets credited for making one of the greatest all-time catches. Now they're just routine for guys. You know, like kids now in AAU basketball walking around these United States and all over the world really don't even try to dribble the basketball. They just try to shoot like Steph Curry. So kids who were in college and high school at the time and Pop Warner football or NFL started to practice one-hand catches more frequently because of Odell Beckham. And now they're doing it over and over, week in, week out. You watch any NFL highlights, it's one-hand catch after one-hand catch. The Odell. It's massive. Big up this stag, man. Hope you are good. Yeah, it was massive. Man, Mr. Man had tar on his glove. Nah, he just had great hands. That made it. That one catch made him tens of millions of dollars. You know, big up, man. We got 26 of you locked in. Can we get to 20 likes? Would be dope. AJ, there was two Sabozo. One was our manager with that lineup. Yeah, I said before, I'm fully putting down that loss to him. Yeah. The way Van Dijk was able to step into that midfield. Okay, another point on the Sabozo free kick. Zubamendi had to draw a foul. Zubamendi had to draw a foul in that midfield because Van Dijk was playing damn near like a midfielder because they had nothing to defend against for the first half of the game. Played right through our middle, and Zubamendi had to give the foul away that ended up in the net. I fully love that free kick. One of the best. Probably will be a nomination for one of the best goals of the season, especially if Liverpool go on to win the league. But I'm firm in my belief that game should have made it 2-1 or 3-1 us. Liverpool winner against us should have been a consolation. Facts. United have a good attack and your wingbacks are weak defensively. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what lineup Slack's gonna put out because there is pressure on him now. Now we get the privilege now this season as it plays out to see how Slack performs under pressure because there was no pressure last year. Last year was as a free hit as they come. Now you'll say, "Oh, it's Liverpool. There's no pressure." I get it. There's always pressure at Liverpool, but him coming in after Klopp, there was no pressure on him to win the title. Now, he couldn't have just did an Amarim and finished 15th in that, but there was no pressure on him to win the league. But the fact that he won it, he's just created more pressure on himself. If Serbozo is Zimmerman the nickname, then maybe. Kirkes probably doesn't start. If he doesn't start Kirkes, this is a big game, you know. I don't think any Liverpool fan will be upset if they look at the team sheet and they see Robo over Kirkes because I could really see Mbeumo getting changed out of him. Kwanzaa. Is it Kwanzaa? Kwanzaa is the one they sold. They sold Kwanzaa, didn't they? Oh yeah, him. Connor Bradley. The one that Garnacho got sent off. Got taken off at halftime. And Mbeumo, Cunha, and Ahmad should be United's front three. Now it's going to be Sesko. It is going to be Sesko. So it's probably going to be Mbeumo, Sesko, Cunha, and midfield four will be Dalot, Dorgu, Bruno, either Casemiro or Ugarte. Gomez at center back. I think Gomez can do a better job at center back than Kwanzaa can. I keep saying Kwanzaa. Then Connor Bradley can do it at right back. Big up, man. Some more dappings going through. Cooper says, I remember the catch. Amazing New York Giants fan says, well, hey, big up, man. New York football Giants in the house. Being a Giants fan, that helped me. Yeah. You know, between 08 and 2012, man, you know, we picked up 2 Super Bowls at the expense of the GOAT, Tom Brady. Can you imagine if it wasn't for the New York Giants, Tom Brady would have 9 Super Bowl rings, you know. People forget that, man. Eli took 2 from him. And Philly took 1 from him. That would have been 10 Super Bowl rings. God damn. Man. They both got bagel midfields. I think Gavin Birch is fit. Advantage Liverpool in the middle of the park. Why is Mateta crying like a little bitch about Zaha? Just saw the story. I haven't seen the story, but from what I hear is Mateta finally got a call-up and a start for France. And apparently he had mentioned aspirations to start for France, and the boys had laughed it off and said, you'll never make it or something like that. Something along those lines. Which people do all the time, whether it's in a joking way or whatever, they do it all the time. But that's what I'm hearing that's what I'm hearing happened with that situation. And now that he got his call up, and did he score? I'm not sure if he scored, but he got his call up, got his start, and he's like, "Yeah, look at me now." I'm like, bro, if I was Mateta, I would wait until the 26-man roster is solidified and I'm in it going to the World Cup before I even try to give it, because we see many times men get these call ups during qualifier, especially when your coefficient is so high and you're going to qualify anyway, and let the big dogs rest because they're playing heavy minutes for club and they get caught up. So if I was Mateta, I'd keep my powder dry right now. I wouldn't be giving it to Zaha or anyone, because there's no guarantee that he's going to make that final cut. Because the depth chart at the number 9 for France is Mbappe. Thuram has a rapport with the coach. He's been there in that squad for time, and he plays for a big club and plays good minutes. Ekitike is in contention. Ekitike is in the squad with you, Mateta. So are they going to take 4 strikers? Is a team going to take 4 strikers to the World Cup? Because from what I think, it's a 26-man roster. 3 of them have to be goalkeepers. So 23 outfield players. If I was Mateta, I would wait until I know I'm on the plane coming to these United States before I give it to anyone. You just need to, because if you look at the England squad, Jude Bellingham wasn't even in the squad. Are we meant to sit here and think that Jude Bellingham is not going to the World Cup? So that someone who is in the England squad right now is not going. Like, we know how this works. So Mateta, I think he could be premature with it. From what I gather, from what I see, it is. I'm not on X, so I don't really know what the story is. But someone did send me a video clip yesterday of Zaha trying to explain himself. I could have seen Robo playing this weekend, but he fell asleep for the Chelsea winner. So most probable will be Kirkes and Bradley at right back. Brother, hey, I don't know, man. Big up to Gavin, big up Kwasha. if Garnacho was giving Bradley hell, Cunha would be looking at him like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have me a career day." Seriously, I'm about to have me a career day against that. And yeah, Kirk and Mbeumo playing the high line, pushing up, because Liverpool will be up the pitch. You're at Anfield, home. You need a win. If that game is 0-0 at halftime, the Anfield faithful will not be happy. And let that game get to the hour mark, it's going to get real antsy in that stadium. But I think for the first 20 minutes, it is going to be loud and rocking. If United can somehow bend and not break, if they can wither that initial wave, that initial red wave, and it gets to 65 minutes and there is no goals for Liverpool, it could be sticky. And don't go down 1-0. Don't go down 1-0 and have to push up even more, because that's when Cunha thrives. That's when Mbeumo thrives. Big up. Some more dappings going on. AJ said, I would trade Noni for Zaha. No joke. I wanted Zaha, man. I thought Zaha was absolute baller, but I do agree that his legs are gone. I would have taken him in a heartbeat. He was a match winner, man. Slot is overrated. Klopp laid the table for him, says Boy 10. All Slot had to do was eat. Well, he ate all the food and then he went and bought new groceries. But now he's chefing up a brand new meal, and there's pressure on him for that meal to taste good. Right? That meal needs to taste like a Premier League. Right? This might be crazy to say, right? This might be crazy to say. But the Champions League this year for Liverpool would feel like a consolation, because every Liverpool fan that I talk to tells me that retaining the Prem is their number one goal. So, Liverpool have the most European Cups and they have their heritage there. They'll be like, there's no pressure on us to win the Champions League. We won it 6 times. Shit, cool. But to retain this modern day Premier League is of utmost importance. So that's what this new meal that Chef Slot is cooking up has to taste like. It has to taste like a retention. It has to taste like a Prem. Yeah, we got you. We got you, man. He's in the news and he plays in the 10. I got you. Well, I wouldn't start him if I was Slot. Yeah, I don't. Right, I think Cunha and Mbuemo could get changed out of both those fullbacks. I don't think we'll see both of them start. Right? I think if Robo start, then maybe. But if he puts Szoboszlai at right back, maybe that he can take a risk with Kirkes. But right now, Kirkes is a risk. Connor Bradley definitely a risk. Oh, and don't let Cunha get him on a yellow early. Oh hell. Klopp spent years cooking Michelin 5-star Liverpool, and Slot comes around the taste test and gets credit for being the chef. So, this is one of the talking points that we said earlier on in the season when we were talking to Liverpool fans. We were like, hey, if you don't win the Premier League, what's going to happen is, he's going to get beaten with the same stick that Arteta gets beaten with. You won with Emery's team. You won with Klopp's team. Now you got your own team and you're looking shaky. Now, there is something there. There's definitely something there. But I also do believe that whether or not it was Klopp's team or not, the second season of him being under pressure is an actual thing. Because there was no pressure. The decisions that he could make last year were very easy to make. Some of them were made for him. The starting lineup was already picked. Trent knew, hey, I'm fit, I start. My right wing start. My center back start. Alisson is Alisson. Tinker with the team here and there between Nunez and Gakpo. But, whenever Diogo was fit, he got his minutes. So it wasn't a lot to do. But he did enough. So he has to get credit for that. Hit the likes, please, says my bro, the Waffle Don. It's going to be Mount Mbuemo Sesko. Says Wahaha. Cunha's injured. Is Cunha injured? Or is Cunha going to play in the midfield with Bruno? Yeah, that could be. But Sesko's in form, though. Sesko definitely starts. He's in form. Mount hit some form. Not going to lie, I did forget about Mount, Wahaha. So, yeah, it's a shout. But Mount in the midfield with Bruno. I don't know. He has legs. He can move. He gets about the park, which is one of the reasons why I think, like in the Jurgen Klopp system, he would actually do well. Now Slot went to Godstaff and Words to complete the dish, along with Wagyu, Isak, and TK Cuts. And he wanted some wild frimpong for his sauces. It's not working. Tinkering with the team too much. Boy, I asked that question. I asked Loudmouth Football, hey, is he tinkering with the team too much? You have a title-winning midfield, and you're going to upset the balance of it, putting in Verts in that. Verts can play for Austin. He can play out left. Okay, cool. But out left, I thought Cody Gakpo played well last year. Well enough to hold on that spot. Now, to be fair to them, this was when Luis Diaz was still there. I didn't think they needed upgrade on the left wing. But you see how easy he's making the Bundesliga look with Harry Kane. If you believe that you don't know ball too well, Slot tweaked and changed our style, etc. enough to differentiate between him and Klopp. I think he made adjustments as the season went on. But these guys didn't start playing a different brand of football, right? Whenever McAllister got on the ball, Szoboszlai got on the ball, Gravenberch, each one knew where the other one was going to be. So essentially, when you and your teammate are on the same wavelength and you know where he's going to be, you essentially always have a pass, an open pass, and that's critical for ball retention. What I will give Slot credit for is him unlocking Gravenberch, because the Gravenberch that we saw last year was not the Gravenberch that we saw under Jurgen. So I do give him credit for that. And I do think Gravenberch's presence in the midfield took your play to a different level. Let's watch and see how it goes, says Boy 10. I'm quite confident in what I've seen. Yeah, your eyes will never lie to you. Never, ever. Hey, man, big up to you, man. Hope you are good. Make sure you let us know, Cooper. You're going to be a little woozy tomorrow, but let us know that you are good and well. Arteta didn't win the FA Cup. Arteta didn't win the FA Cup. It was Wenger's. Yeah, that's the story. That's the story that Arteta gets beat with. So in the event that Slot does not win this year, he won't be able to escape that. You're getting them 3 and 4 while Gyökeres nursing nostalgia over the Leeds game. Nah, Gyökeres is going to bang this weekend. Definitely bang it. Unless Arteta sabotages him again and plays Mourinho in the midfield and plays Eze left wing. So Slot did nothing different and we played heavy metal club football. No, I think he completely unlocked Gravenberch. Whatever he did to Gravenberch, maybe Gravenberch needed to be having told to him in Dutch. Maybe Klopp doesn't speak any Dutch, but whatever he said and whatever he told Gravenberch worked. Big up to E-Ross. Say 22 likes. If you haven't hit the like already, please go ahead and do so. Gyökeres will score more goals than Sesko. Sesko, like people, the power of 3 points. This is what it is. Sesko doesn't bang against Sunderland, and it's a completely different conversation, isn't it? Like we've seen Esteval just have a tap-in, a slide-in tap-in, and all of a sudden he's better than Neymar. You know, he was better than Neymar at this stage. Let's just stop it. The power of a goal, the lift that 3 points can give you. It's amazing in football. Liverpool's problem is that center back and right wing, in my opinion. Yeah, the right wing is a problem. Right back is a problem. Left back is a problem. Konate is a problem. McAllister is a problem. Yeah. Big up to KJ. Hey, listen, KJ does content now, people. KJ has a channel. Make sure that we are showing KJ some love. I subscribed to KJ's channel this morning. It's posted in the community page for the catch-up. So big up to KJ and welcome to the world of content creation, my bro. I see you on panels all the time. So happy for you starting your channel and good luck on your journey. Similar enough, Slot changing a detail, if not him changing the genre. Like and subscribe, says Cooper. Big up to Kwaja, man. Hope you are good, bro. Where we at? Nice to see you all. Yeah, man. Nice to see you, Kwaja. Welcome back into the space. Liverpool. LFC Monster gonna be vexed with Pool's game this season. It's not my baby. Tell you what. Man United can turn the football landscape on its head, on its complete head this weekend. You know. Big up to Gavin. Zaha reeks of fake humanity to me. Could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know. With the whole Mateta thing, I just think, like, bro, just make the French squad thing, because right now I think you're 4th choice striker for France. So until your name is on the damn list, just chill out for a bit. Is this Eze time right now to secure that number 10 spot? I think the number 10 spot is his. I don't think there's a better 10. You're like, Wahaha gets onto me for how much I glaze Eze. But we know what Eze's spot is. And I'm not just saying this because he wears the number 10. Like, he spent the past 5 years in the Premier League proving that he belongs there. Any other manager plays him there. It's only this one. And even this one has he knows. I'm not going to deny it. I don't think Arteta is stupid. I don't think he's a dumb person. I think he's stubborn and egotistical and all that. But I don't think he is dumb. And there's a reason why he started both of them last game. You know? So against West Ham, you know, it's as hey, you're going to be in the middle of the park, but I still got to get my captain in there. You know? But Eze, yeah, it's this time. He's 27 years old, in his prime. Just need to take the shackles off him and let him unlock our striker. Go on, Amorim, make them spiral. If they did, like, Liverpool won't be able to live this down. So you see, like, the United fans cannot live down the fact they will be forever known as the team that lost to Tottenham in the final. Right? You lost to Tottenham in the damn final, bro. you will be forever known as the team that gave Amorim his back-to-back wins at Anfield of all places. You know what I'm saying? So, or United could be known as the team that got Verts off the mark. Verts gets off and gets his goal, or does he go 00-10? The only way Liverpool, the only way no one will care if he gets 00-10 is if United win the game. He gets an assist and they lose the game 3-1, but 2-1. Second season slot syndrome. The 4S, the 4 S's. It's something. It's something. Cunha trying to decide between Vaseline and KY versus Brad. Oh my days! Yeah. I think any fullback in any winger in the league right now looks at Bradley and be like, "Bro, if Garnacho got change out of you, yeah, you getting cooked today." I hear it with Bradley, but last season he locked up Mbappe, so it's a question. See, that's the thing that Liverpool fans go too far with. He didn't lock him up, man. He flew into some tackles, and let's not be. Mbappe was playing right wing, the left wing. He's not a winger. Vinicius wasn't playing that game. Like Mbappe is like a striker, second striker, drifts left, but he's not a winger. You know what I'm saying? So if Vinicius was playing and Mbappe was able to play like Mbappe, but I do think that's the thing that Liverpool fans run away with a little too much. He locked up Mbappe. Oh, shit. If you're gonna say he locked up Mbappe but get cooked by Garnacho, he kind of cancels that out. But had you go on to win the Champions League, it might have been cool. But I don't think he was at that level. I just think he had a worldie. He was locked in, and I've always said last year's Liverpool was better than this one. That last year's Liverpool team had Luis Diaz in it. And I think Luis Diaz's defensive work and his press actually helped Bradley out a lot in that game. If he does, Cunha will be no trouble for him. I think Cunha is going to give him hell on earth. Because Cunha is not going to try to outrun him. Cunha has real good tech. What about Chelsea that have some favorable fixtures and just 2 points behind us? Yeah, that's why they're in it. Chelsea has some very favorable fixtures. And at the next international break, I actually expect Chelsea to be right up there. I think Chelsea are going to go on a run. Yeah. They have Forest and just Forest. That's 3 points. There's no slip up there. They got Sunderland that United just fisted up. That's 3 points. Then they got Tottenham. That is 3 points. And then they got Wolves. That's 3 points. So all 4 of those games Chelsea are projected to win. Right? So give it to them. That's 12 points. They're on 11 right now, so they'll be on 23 points. I think 23 points going into the next international break will be good for second or third. Be right up there. That's why I have him in the thumbnail, my bro. As they can secure the 10th spot, but as soon as this manager's captain is available, he'll be right. Yep, that's it. Availability. So he's our conditional 10, and the condition is whenever Odegaard is available. And if it's at home against a West Ham, a Burnley, a Wolves, Forest, Leeds, the bottom teams, yeah, he will play Eze and Odegaard. But when we go to the Etihad or when Liverpool come to town, it's going to be one of them on the pitch to start. You might see them both when we have to throw the kitchen sink after we concede or something like that. But against the big boys, he is not going to play them both. Either he'll play Eze out wide or bench him and play Martinelli for his defensive work. Mount's playing better. Yeah, Mount has played well last game for sure. Not sure about the game before that, but he did play well against Sunderland. The Sunderland you said you wouldn't beat, Wahaha. The Sunderland that I said you would win calmly and comfortably, and you should have scored more than 2 goals. But I thought you would create enough chances to at least score 2 of them, and so said, so done. LFC Monster actually wants Money Mace. It's cast next to Bruno. Now, Slot even came out in his interview and said he targeted Casemiro last year as the trigger point. Whenever the ball gets to Casemiro, he's the trigger point. Hey, man, it's them. Big up to KJ, man. Hope you are good, my bro. Big up to James Bond. Manners and respect, brother. Walk good here. Black walked in with a new manager syndrome. He changed the recipe to a good dish. Now they're losing customers. Yeah, the customers are like, it's not as crispy. The bacon ain't as crispy. You know, the sauteed onions, aren't really sauteing. Estevar is new Messi after that tapping. Yeah, it's all across the spaces, bro. All across the spaces. Talk to me now, Estevar. Then I go look at the goal. I'm like, bro, the ball comes across and it's a sliding tap in. Like, I can score that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the kind of goal where you should get criticized for missing, but shouldn't be overly praised for scoring. Like, come on. Professional footballer, a yard from the goal. The Germans, the Dutch have a hatred for each other. But Slot and Linders got on quite well. Yeah, I'm thinking. I was trying to be low key. Nah, don't be low key, my bro. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. I've already subbed. I appreciate the support that you've given to the channel. So, we got you back. We must. Absolute must. 26 likes. We'll get there. Can we get to 30 likes? Haven't hit 30 in a long time, but that's a big up, man. Thank you for all the support. He said we must. You absolute must. They made Tottenham win a trophy. Yeah, man. The stigma. So at this point, every team around the league is looking and be like, hey, don't be that team. Don't be that team that does this. And what's the this? The this is, don't be that team that lets Verse get off the mark against you, right? Hold him to 0-0-0-0, whatever. And then every other team is, don't be that team that gives Amorim his back-to-back win, which is going to give first. Both can happen on Sunday. Amorim can get his back-to-back win, and Verse can get off the mark. So many storylines. I can't wait for the Peter. Whichever, I'm going to watch that game. I normally watch football on mute anyway, but I'm going to watch this one on full volume, whichever game that Peter Drury has the commentary on, because I know he's going to have some mad storylines for this one. We cannot allow this United team to get 1 point, never mind 3. Yeah, Sheldon was the best to leave bar. He was like, yeah, I'm cooking today. I'm leaving with something. Branko Lich once cooked up Ronaldinho. Doesn't mean jack shit. Yeah. I remember Ben Wallace locked up Shaq in the NBA Finals one time. Ben Wallace is nowhere near the Hall of Fame centers. It happens, isn't it? Mbappe wasn't on form last season. As an Mbappe hater, let me tell you up front, he's on fucking smoke this season. It's like he moves in fast forward using the slides from FIFA or something. Yeah. But I think if Liverpool caught lots of break last year, and that was one of them. Like that left wing spot, Vinicius frees up Mbappe not having to drift as far out wide. He can drift wide, but when he goes out to get chalk on his boots, it's really not his game, isn't it? You see that goal that he just scored for France? That's where he operates, just to the left of center going forward. He's outrageous that Mbappe brought out this season. Yeah, he's cooking, man. We always knew that he was going to start cooking. Bradley is a solid right back, a good one at that, just prone to getting niggly injuries, which both right backs have suffered from. When they return, they look unfit. But I wouldn't start him then. I would not start him against Cunha. I really think Cunha is going to make him uncomfortable. When you get cooked up by Garnacho, it's going to get noticed, bro. It's just one of them ones. That's just how the football landscape is. Garnacho, who no one rates, gets you subbed off at halftime. You're like, yeah, something. Man. No excuses, of course. They will play poor, but I'm hoping Slot has found the antidote now. He has to find something. We played a high press specifically. We played specifically for that United game. Okay, I'm here for it. Big up to Godfrey. Big up to you, bro. Hope you are good. But yeah, the Waffle Don mentioned Chelsea. That's the power of one win. The power of one win thrust Chelsea in the conversation as hey, you're in the title race until you're not. But then you look at the table and you realize that they're behind Palace. But none of this talk would be happening had they lost to Liverpool or drew that game. And they were what? 60 seconds from dropping points in that game, having been the better team. So 3 points either way have completely changed the narrative for 4 or 5 teams going into the international break. It changed it for Chelsea because now they've beaten the champs. They're in it. It's changed it for Liverpool because they went from leading the league to chasing. In the space of 7 days, turned a 6-point lead into a 1-point deficit. Quick, fast, right? It changed it for City, right? Because they beat convincing win for City against the win was Man City 5-1 and then 1-0 against Brentford. But the power of 3 points changed it for Arsenal, right? Convincing win, so to speak, over West Ham to go top. It's just mad how it can go from this to that, just like that. A world exists where Man United leaves this weekend feeling like they can really finish in the top 6. And I wouldn't be shocked because I actually predict him to finish top 6 this season. But because they started so poorly, I'm not going to lie, I thought about reconsidering, like, shit, man, I didn't know they were going to be this poor, getting fist up to Brentford and that. They used to be up to decent fitness, and now it's Slot to show me what he's got for us to beat United. There's pressure on Slot. There's pressure in this game for one manager to win. I really think, Wahaha said he wouldn't take a point right now, but I think most United fans would. Given the fact that the odds of one team winning this game will be the next team. Because if it comes down to a shootout, Liverpool are probably going to win, yeah? Big up to Ozzy. Liverpool are probably going to win. And if there's ever a game that Mo Salah finds his form and scores, it's usually against these men. Right? So he is going to score. But I do believe that Liverpool can see. So in the prediction show tomorrow, I am so torn between this score and that score. But that's going to be a very tricky one. And I'm very interested to see, how the Liverpool fans will react to the news of Gravenberch's fitness. It's crazy to say, but United coming off one win is the in-form team now. Both teams are out of form. But Liverpool are playing at home. Hated rivalry. That first 20 minutes of that game, if United crack, it's over. I don't think it'll be a case of Bournemouth opening day where Liverpool go 2-0 up and then take their foot off the gas and let Bournemouth back into the game. In that initial blitz that Liverpool are going to come out and push United back. If they score during that initial 20 minutes, oh shit. Look out. Big up to Ozzy. Big up to Gary from Don't Waste the Trip. Scott was panicking versus Chelsea. Yeah, he did make some panic moves. The biggest panic move that I saw him make is when he brought Endo on instead of Chiesa. Does Chiesa start this game? I doubt it. But when he brings on Endo to see out the game, brings on a DM to see out the game and still concede, that's a pressure move that backfired in your face. That's some shit Arteta would do. No, you go try to win the game. You're the Premier League champion. Big up to the assemble. Do you think Moreno will start against Fulham? If your answer is yes, in place of who? No, I don't. But Jamboy earlier on in the chat said he would. He does think that Moreno would start. I don't think. If Moreno starts in the midfield, that means Declan Rice or Zubimendi has to sit. One of them. It can't be he's starting at the expense of Eze. No, Eze has to start in the midfield. Now, if Arteta is I'm gonna import his form from Spain into my midfield and play him as the left eight, and Declan is resting, and the midfield of Zubimendi, Marino, Eze, maybe that can work. But we can't have Marino coming in the midfield at the expense of Eze. Especially if the expense of Eze means Eze is on the bench. Now, if he comes into the midfield and forces Eze out left, I still don't like that, but I prefer it rather than Eze being on the bench. Because I just think he has so much creativity in him. You're gonna need that against a Fulham side who's been getting shafted all season. Fulham have been on the wrong end of some bad decisions this year. And it's only 7 games in. I really think Fulham could be on 11, 12 points right now. Right now, they're on 8 points. They're a good team. They got a bad decision go against them against United. You know, Lenny Euro blatantly pushed Bassi in the back and got away with a goal. But yeah, my answer is an emphatic no. I don't think he starts this weekend. But knowing this guy, you never know. Yeah, remember to do your FPL. I'm sucking this year. Pause. But normally I do well, but this year is not looking good for me. I ain't gonna lie. Liverpool will win on Sunday. They win, then we have to. I think our result, will affect them in some way. Not sure. We put the 3 points on the board and say, your move, Liverpool. What you got? And we see how it goes. Yeah, man. Big up to Aussie people. Make sure that we are subbing to Aussie. Yep, tried to lock up just to avoid that third L. Yeah, it was weird. If you've from match week 1 all the way up to match week 5, you've made a killing off of late goal wins, right? And that's what the narrative was. Hey, Liverpool are leaving it late. It's not sustainable. Remember that. If anyone was going to give you a goal, it was going to be Chiesa. It wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be Endo. But that was an Arteta move. Like last year, he doesn't make this move. I remember last year away at Fulham or Brentford, I think. He was brought on Nunes, the guy that he didn't want. Brought him on, and Nunes comes on and bangs the brace. All right. It was 0-0 at the time. I think it was a 0-0 or 1-1. Liverpool finished 2 clear goals. I don't know. But that was definitely shaky, panicky move. Don't forget Norgard, Rice, Zubi, and Marina gives us the third. Norgard can't get nowhere near this game. Norgard next start in the Premier League will probably have to be against Brighton. And I don't even want him starting that game. I want us to feel a strong team against Brighton in the cup. I do not want to take any chances with these Brighton boys. They are dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. They attack. And if we set up not to damn lose against Brighton, oh my God. God for you picking up. We're on 29 likes. I appreciate it, people. Thoroughly appreciate it. Anyone in the stream who haven't hit the like yet, please do so. If we could get to 30. LFC Monsters, I'm Gravy Fella. Looking forward to another 7-0 this weekend. Oh my days. 7. It won't be that. It won't be that because everyone had their hand in there. Like, what did I just see? No one saw 7-0. Even as the game was going on. Like I said earlier, it was 1-0 at halftime. That when have we ever seen a 6-0 second half in Premier League games? The unlikely of results. Now, if it was 4-0 at halftime, then you'd be like, oh man, this could be 6 or 7. But it was 1-0. I think it was a Cody Gakpo goal that separated the teams. And then the floodgates opened. Everyone came on in 8. Even fucking Firmino. Diaz 8. Mo Salah scoring fuck you goals with swinging with his right foot in that. It's like mad. Endo say, I can see Arsenal drawing to Fulham on Saturday. Liverpool beating United to go back on top of the Prem. And brother, the YouTube spaces and the algorithm would love this. This this meltdown settings, because then we'd have to really look at it, because now we were like, okay, is this another manager that has Arteta's number? Marco Silva, Iraola, Eddie Howe. That's no. This is one of the games that we look at the fixture from last year and this year, and we have to correct it. Right? We've already gone to Old Trafford and corrected last year's result. We've gone to St. James's Park and corrected that result. We've corrected the result at home versus West Ham. And we needed to do that because we regressed in our result away at Anfield. We regressed in our result at home to City. So this is one of those games where we have to make up for it. So how can you say it's a must-win? It's only match week 8. Yeah, it's a must-win. It's an absolute must-win. It wouldn't be the craziest result, but it would be a devastating result. We don't do certain lineup against team that's on our level. Start our best team. Arteta, pick our best lineup and go sit down. We beat Fulham. Right? You give them, man, 90 minutes of Eze. Right? I think we can contain Fulham's attack. That last year's 1-1 earlier on in the game. I think it was Kivior that fell asleep and Jimenez scored. Something like that. I could be wrong. But that's what my memory is telling me. Yep, Jimenez scored in the 11th minute and Saliba equalized in the 52nd minute. So, yeah, we have to right that wrong. 2-0 Arsenal, easy win for us in my opinion. We are slowly becoming 2-0 FC. 2-0 has been like our routine scoreline over a couple of key games. 2-0 Bilbao, 2-0 West Ham, 2-0 Olympiacos, 2-0 Port Vale. So I'll take it. I'll take another clean sheet. I can clean sheet, to be honest. Okay, fair. Hey, don't say, when has it ever been easy for? And that's the thing. You look at the scores in hindsight and you see 2-0 and you think, oh, it's a comfortable 2-0. The Port Vale wasn't comfortable. It wasn't. We scored early, as they scored early, and we think, oh, well, yeah, floodgates about to open. We are about to do them. But it wasn't a comfortable scoreline. We started the static midfield against Bilbao, and for 72 minutes, it was 0-0. It was the subs had to link up. All right. Olympiacos, same thing. We scored early. Thought the floodgates were going to open. Odegaard masterclass in that. He got man of the match. Saka had to score in the 90 plus 10 minute, 90 plus second minute. The West Ham one was more controlled and more, but yeah, the other ones look comfortable based on the scoreline, but on the run of play, it was a little more squeaky bum that a lot of people are willing to admit. Darren, apparently 1 point is better than no points according to this genius manager. I say not quite as effective as 3 points with attacking and creative midfielders. Spot on. He assembled. It was last season against Fulham. You had the offside goal. Yep. Yeah, Martinelli went too early. Saka was onside, but Martinelli received the ball out wide. He went early, which is unforgivable for a wide player. You can see the damn line. And a player with Martinelli's speed, like, brother, you don't even need to be offsides because you have the speed, So, it's Luki Kelce. He went, I think he's fine. I scoured the landscape and I didn't see any major injuries. I see Gravenberch with a knock, but when I see a knock, I'm compelled to believe that he is going to play. And I believe that's the one Dutchman giving another Dutchman a heads up about his Dutchman. Koeman, Slot, Gravenberch. Like, hey, man, we got a big game at the weekend. Can you set my boy home? We will take more risk Against Fulham, the Scousers, on the other hand, no. I mean, Arteta as a manager is kind of risk averse still. Come on, Harry Wilson. I think Joshua King or Smith Rowe might give us more trouble. You know, Iwobi, happy feet. If we let Iwobi do us, if we let Adama Traore do us, yeah, it was our scoring clubs last season, so I get it. Maguire, if Maguire can put his big ass forehead on one of those set pieces from Bruno and quiet Anfield, oh my God, 70,000 quiet, while the away fans sing. Oh my days, I'm here for it. So, dear boys of London in red, do us a solid and allow us to wake up Sunday morning happy with some popcorn and enjoy the Liverpool Man United showdown. Right? Put the daylight there. Force Liverpool. Oh, they see the 4-point gap. Force them to go play open, honest football and create space for Cunha and Mbuemo to run into. They do not have Alisson in goal. Away at Crystal Palace, when Alisson saved Liverpool from embarrassment. Can you imagine opening up your phone a couple weeks ago and see Liverpool halftime 4-0 down? Yeah, but that was Alisson. Alisson stopped that from happening. Marmadesh Raguel, I'm hearing he's a good goalkeeper, but he is not Alisson. Whenever I see Mbuemo running through on goal from that hoofed pass over the top from Bruno, I'm expecting the net to bulge. Yep. Marco Silva got that ball gene also. They've been on some shit decisions from VAR this year. I'm not going to lie. It was a precaution, not a knock. Oh, fair. Okay. Appreciate you keeping me honest, KJ. At Waha, if we get hit with a center-back long-range banger again, it will be going out the window. Hold it. Martinelli is in the team for his defensive capability, not his attacking. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. He's the best defensive winger you will ever see. I want Maguire in a high line like Brentford. Oh, hell. Yeah, I can see this happening, Yeah. Yep, I can see this happening. Mo Salah hitting him with the stop and go. And Isak against oh, shit. Now I'm starting to really. Yeah. Gakpo, Salah, Isak versus De Ligt, Maguire, and Luke Shaw. Oh, my days. Yeah. We're sitting here talking about Vert's going to bang and get off the mark. Isak is looking at this game like, bro, I'm going to eat. Bro. Like, these men conceded 2 goals to Burnley at their home ground. They're coming to Anfield. I'm going to have some space. Ah, shit. Yeah, it's not. Gonna lay low. Ain't no laying low, my bro. Just hope they go forward when the time is right, not a shit show. Not the shit we saw against City. Yeah. Bruno, stop the goddamn complaining and moaning and play ball, right? Man be stopping and complaining while his man is just left unmarked against City, like Wahaha just says, and gives up a goal while he's complaining. Marmadashvili, not Alisson, true, but we signed Marma because he has similar stats to Alisson before he signed us. Hopes. Brother, Alisson, fuck the stats. Instincts. His instincts are unreal. I don't think I've seen a better one-on-one keeper in the Premier League in the past 5 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? Any other keeper, I'm expecting the net to bulge against Palace. So you give Mbuemo 2 or 3 of those chances, I'm expecting that damn net to bulge. To be honest, Vegan Butcher is back though. No way. No way he's back. He did an ACL, isn't he? Mo Salah can't handle the highline pressure. He's gassed when he gets to 30 yards from goal. Somehow he's gonna be on that juice, on that energy gas, whatever. And he's gonna be up for this one like no other. That's the vegan butcher. Yeah, he got turned inside out in that 7-0, man. Man didn't know which way to go. Lisa Andro, man, you better you better ruthless, Martinez maybe can save that back three from Maguire. Now, there's no way he starts this game. I don't think this is not the game you throw him back in. No. Hell no. I thought he was going to be out for it till at least January. You force him back to play against Isak and them. Bro. Damn. As soon as I mentioned Isak, now my mood towards this game started to change. Because I know what he's capable of. And I know Mo Salah's history versus United. Kind of like Jota's history against us. He loves a goal. Always scores against us. Him, Firmino, Harry Kane. There were certain teams that we lined up against and you just knew these men were going to score against us. Like, bro, it's rough. It's rough out here. But big up to Anfield the Red. Say, if we lose Sunday, I want Slot sacked. You hear that, KJ? You hear that, LFC monster? Slot out is riding on Amarim's shoulder. Wahaha. What you saying? Sure, I can handle Salah blindfolded. What if he isn't blindfolded? He said that. Slot might be Ten Hag in disguise, man. These are strong words, Anfield. Bro, I want to bet on United to beat Liverpool, but I'm just imagining the highlights of Isak and Ekitike running rings around Maguire. It's scary, isn't it? It's scary. I was sitting there thinking, yeah, maybe. But then you think of, yeah. What image are we more likely to see? Slot putting his hands up in the air or Ruben sitting over there, head down? Or playing with the clipboard again. He's not going to be playing with the clipboard again because I'm pretty sure that he's seen that he's turned into a meme and a reel over the past couple of months when they lost to Grimsby. But we're likely to see Slot, do his hands up and jumping around, and the Photoshop of Amarim just stressed. He looks like a man just stressed, even in wins. What about Ramsdale, Lennon? Not according to the main man, they are equal to the best goalkeepers in the league. Yeah, so equally sold them both. What says what he says, but bro, we want what you do. Shaw can't deal with a non-league player. Oh, okay, got you. The police squad. Yeah. The police. I can't even take you seriously sometimes. It will take a lot going wrong for Slot to get sacked this season. Come on now. Yeah, free hit. Not a free hit. No, okay. So I'm gonna say this, LFC Monster. Let me know if you agree. But this was my premise on Slot. When he won the league, when the league was wrapped up, I said he's essentially bought himself 2 years at Liverpool after he won the Premier League. This was before the transfer window started. He's bought himself 2 years minimum. That's what I said then. This was back in May. When the transfer window closed, I had to change that, right? New information, new opinion. Because of the transfer window that you had on top of winning the league, those 2 years now turns into one. So, yeah, you bought yourself 2 years by winning the league. But because of how you've moved and how you've been backed from a position of strength, if you don't win the league next season, the pressure is there. You don't get that other year. No. I think the pressure will be so hot on him if he doesn't deliver this season that start the season slow next season, then you could see him go. I don't think the Premier League is going to buy him 5 years at your club the same way FA Cup bought Arteta 5 years at Arsenal. After everything you said about Dio, you still can't say United going to win. Still slot not sacked this season unless Liverpool finish mid-table and win nothing. Yeah, and there is no way I think that happened. He finishes mid-table. Yeah, I don't see 6 teams in this league table that will leapfrog Liverpool, right? Tottenham aren't going to do it. Bournemouth are this year's version of Bournemouth and Palace are this year's version of Forest last year. Well, they'll spend a big chunk of the year in a position where they don't belong, and then they tailor off towards the end. Especially Palace, because they have Europe Thursday, Sunday. I've seen Thursday, Sunday hurt bigger teams, bigger squads than Palace. So I think it will hurt them, especially when the fixtures congest come January, February time. And I think Bournemouth will have a burnout as well. There are now 3-4 teams that I see can leapfrog Liverpool. So mid-table finish for them is not happening. But if that does happen, yeah, he's fucked. A lot. 0-10 for Verts, 4 L's in a row. L to Chelsea United back-to-back. Still starting the Dutch Ice Spice. Damn. And French Phil Foden, what more you want? Damn. Anfield the Red has some strong words for the Premier League champion winning manager as a debutant. Someone agree. Okay, fair. I thought I was being fair. It could be lower. Nah, I don't think he finished nowhere near. Liverpool have finished in the top 2. I believe. BBK, I'm so confused. Anything comes out, this man says always transpires not to be what I'm seeing. Yeah, don't listen with your eyes, brother. The hell with what he says. We'll watch what you do. Big up to Rory. Hope you are good, my guy. Love, man. Big up to you every time. Liverpool are so bad. Somehow they find 5 scapegoats ahead of Salah. But the thing is, I don't think Liverpool fans are getting on to Salah because of the credit that he has in the bank. Like he bet on himself last year and he won. Like everyone at Candy expected, the Mo Salah that we're seeing now is what FSG was expecting last year. They were expecting him to perform this way, that they wouldn't have to pay him. Because this version of Mo Salah could not be getting a new contract. Liverpool fans would be doing a farewell tour for him right now, be like, okay, this is his last season, he's going to go. But he bet on himself and he won. FSG bet on them and they lost. And they had to pay him based on the season that he's had. Even without the league title, his numbers justified the new contract. But the fact that the numbers and the Premier League came, they had to pay him. Had to. Slot doesn't get sacked in versus goal 0-10. He probably does lose some transfer power if he had any. Yeah, if he went out on a limb and said, I want this guy, I need this guy, and he goes 0-10. But to be fair to Slot, he has dropped him. He hasn't let Verts' poor form drag down the level of the squad, so to speak. Because the Merseyside derby, a big game for Liverpool. Even forget where Everton is in the table, and they're 8th, so they're not shit. That's a big game, and he dropped him for that game. The Chelsea game, big game. Big game. That's probably Liverpool's biggest away game this season, barring Newcastle away, with the circumstances around the transfer with Isaac and that. But that's another big game for Liverpool, and he dropped him for that game as well. So he has been ruthless, even if it's his own signing. He has been ruthless with him. Marma, Sabozo, Robo, Endo, Gomez, Maka, Grava, Chiesa, Salah, Words, Ekatike versus United is what we need. Yeah, Endo definitely not starting. Chiesa probably won't start either. I think Chiesa has missed the impact sub. But the rest of that, it's tough to argue. Salah has one bad start to the season, and rivals want to treat him like he was Anthony. This is what we thought was going to happen a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I'm getting onto your ass because you don't look likely to win the league, but you're a good team all the same. That United team, though, flip a coin, mate. More likely to tell us what will happen. Yeah, United can turn up. He can turn up for this game. But can they turn up and maintain a high level performance for a sustained period of time throughout the game. They seem to just like switch off way too often, and they better not switch off in this game in the first 20 minutes. Because when that damn clock hits 19, 20 minutes and they start singing Diogo Jota's chants, if they're under pressure by then, problems. Salah not the issue. He has more international goals than both. International goals are irrelevant at club level. Do Liverpool supporters in the chat believe Klopp would sell Salah in the summer? Ooh. Hey, that's a tough question. Yeah, I'd love to hear the answer. Do you want to roll out that defense? I said Anthony is world class right now. Oh Jesus. Maguire's for sale. Didn't they offer him a new contract? Did they not offer him a new contract? Big up to G. Will said, did you know Haaland would struggle in this Arsenal team? The reason he plays on the shoulder of defenders, just like Llokeres, and thrive on early service, which he runs onto. We don't play that pass. Yeah. So we saw it against Palace. The end of that pass that Eze gave to him one time, Eze didn't take a second or third touch. He just poof. Klopp wouldn't have. I don't know. There's no loyalty in football, bro. No one decided Maguire. Leicester won't even take him back. Oh, my days. Yeah, he can't walk the streets of Betis, bro. He needs police escort to walk around Real Betis. That's how much love he's getting over there right now. He was way too loyal to his players. Edwards, who's the ruthless one with players over 30. Well, the KSG fuckers, man. Their baseball team, that's how they treat every player over 30. That's just how they roll. But people, I gotta get up out of here, man. I got a big day today. We'll be back later on Shane Gooner's Bruised Banana. And then tomorrow it's me and my bro, the Waffle Don. Big up to man like E. Ross, who checked back in here earlier. Checked in. Appreciate you popping back in, my bro. The streets missed you.
Maybach music.
Every single time. The Assemble said we are on 31 likes. I'm here for it. Love people. Thank you for that. The reason I've asked the Liverpool supporters that question because clubs seem to know when to sell players. Yeah. He squeezed all the juice out of Genie Wijnaldum. Oh, shit. And then sold it. When he went to PSG? He went to PSG and is silent listener. Yeah, man. Big up to E-Ross, man. Big up to Dow. Big up to every single one of you people. Love, as always. Like I say, people, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.